Hello and welcome to Two and a Half Beards. I'm your host, Davis, as always. My voice is a little crummy today, so I hope you'll keep listening in any case, in spite of that. We're also, you can see I'm wearing a coat. We're having a bit of what I'm tempted to call a cold snap in Cheney, in Spokane, but it's not that because it's about where it should be, and in the weeks and months prior, it's been warmer than normal. It was in about the 20s or so. Now we're getting temperatures that are below 10, 0. With wind chill, we're negative temperatures. So if you hear somebody tell you that because it's so darn cold, global warming is a hoax, you have my permission to hit them repeatedly in the face with a pointy object. Because they should know that part of what global warming does is disrupts convection currents so that places will be uncharacteristically warm or uncharacteristically cold. The net effect is not always that the places you are get warmer initially, it's that they get messed up in terms of weather and climate initially as the entire world is warming up. Also, if you don't believe in global warming, you're really saying that you don't believe in science because more than 99% of scientists have confirmed that global warming is real. It's been proven through loads and loads of research. Okay, I'm done. In any case, today is the continuation of what we talked about last time, procrastination. And as I said, at the end of that video, I said I was working on having a to-do list of 8 or 10 things to do and working on doing that. So I've been doing that for a few weeks, and here's what's happened. I've noticed now I've kind of gone to the other end of the spectrum where I'm almost doing too much. But what I mean by that is that rather than getting a high from not doing something, which is what happens when you have a pattern of procrastination established, when you decide to not do something, when you decide to procrastinate, you get a little hit of dopamine in your brain from being able to put off that dangerous thing that might succeed or might fail, who knows. You get a little hit that says, oh yeah, good, I put that off. It's the same thing you might get from eating a cookie or something. So I broke that cycle and I started doing things. And it was really hard, and yet it felt good, satisfying to cross those things off my list, to make those calls, to pick up my room, to do all that stuff. And I started going to the other end, which was that I started getting a hit from doing things. So I started inventing things to do. Or more specifically, I would invent need for those things. I would invent the need. Yeah, I was trying to think how to phrase that. What I mean by this is that after I did those 8 or 10 things, I felt so good, so high with my dopamine that I thought, I should do another 8 or 10 things. And ironically, while the procrastination that I defeated had robbed me of the things I wanted to do that day by basically rewarding me when I didn't do them, this, which was doing too many things, also rewarded me by not doing the things I had planned to do that day, but it was because I had invented more things and done more things. So although I was getting more things done and getting higher and higher off of my little hits of feel-goodness from getting things done, I wasn't actually progressing in the ways that I had planned to progress. For example, every day I like to spend some time working on what I call affairs, just normal things, all the calls, the paperwork, all that junk. And then I'm a composer, so I spend a lot of time composing. I like to spend some time practicing music, spend some time listening to new music, reading about new music. I got to the point about a week ago where I wasn't doing any of those things. Or I should say I wasn't doing any of those creative things because I was just doing affairs things. I would finish all my tasks and then say, oh, you know what? I need to send a message to so-and-so. I haven't talked to them in a long time. Yeah, that was on my to-do list. I mean, not today, but sometime. So then I would do it. Or I would say, yeah, I usually like to go shopping on Saturday, but what the heck? I'll go shopping today on Wednesday, or whatever day it was, out of my routine. And I started forwarding things, moving things up on my list that were of low priority. Everything started feeling like I had to do it right now. I didn't, of course, But it's just that I really wanted that hit of getting things done, and I wanted to keep doing things. So that was as destructive a cycle as was procrastination. So I'm kind of in the middle right now. I'm trying to focus more on not what I do, but how I do it. So rather than saying, okay, I'm going to do these 8 or 10 things today and then I'm going to compose, I say, I'm going to set aside an hour for doing things on my to do list today. If I get 8 or 10 of them done, that's great. If I don't, that's fine, because tomorrow I'll have an hour too. It's putting things in a process, getting this machine rolling, and then just putting things in there as you find them. That's what I'm trying to work on. And this is historically a very difficult thing for me. I'm someone who likes to work in bursts. I get caught up in the moment. It's tough for me to hold myself to a schedule like this. It's tough for me to hold myself to a schedule for 2.5 beards, and that sort of thing. So this is really new territory for me, and I invite you to watch me explore it, as I think I'll probably be talking about it a bit more in my videos. Next week, more procrastination stuff. I got the book that I mentioned in the last one, Neil Fiore, whatever it's called, and I'll be reporting on that. I'll be reporting some more on some of my readings of anxiety and insomnia and how that relates. All these things really are kind of one cluster of unhealthy behavior, of your mind being on too much all the time. That's in the future. And my more of my experiences with insomnia and how that's going. So a lot of things that I hope will be illuminating to you, things about which I've thought very much, and I hope you'll find interesting. See you next week.